it's Krista with Krista's Creative Chaos, and today I wanted to go through and show you guys all of the projects that I have in the works. I want you to understand that I have ADHD, and I have not been taking my medication, which helps me focus lately. So I have a lot of projects in the works. So when I give when I trade a card with somebody, sometimes it's really hard because I'm really attached to them, because maybe they've been around for months and months and months. So in my head, I'll think, oh, I've been working on that card for months. But that's my process. Some people can sit down in an evening and whoop, they got 5 cards done. Good, they're happy, they're ready to go. Not me. So I'm going to show you all the cards in the various stages that I have them in. I also have art projects that I'm working on. So some of the times I walk away from a card because I don't know how it's fully going to be completed yet. Other times I walk away from a card just because the stage is drying. So I always think that it's good to have cards in several stages. So if you're somebody who isn't the person who sits down and says, I'm going to do this tonight, and you get it all done, here's how you can work in stages and it's going to be okay. I love that I have cards in many stages, because then if I feel like painting, usually there's one that's ready for paint. If I'm usually ready to do something with a black fine liner, usually there's one that's ready for that. If I feel like playing with glue, usually there's one that's ready for collage. So all sorts, one that's ready for being colored in, so all sorts of things. So when I swap cards, there's a group in Facebook that I really especially like, where I participate a lot in. It's an I Heart ATCs is the picture on it. I just like the group. It's a manageable size. It's a few thousand people, a couple thousand people, I think. Maybe it's more than that now. But the people in there are really nice. This lady named Emily runs it. I feel like she's very fair. I feel like she manages the group really well. It is a group where everybody can post whatever, and you just have to be respectful of everybody's art. Just because their style isn't your style, scroll past it if you don't like it. There's some groups, I guess, that there's a bunch of drama and other things like that, and I'm in some of those groups, but I'm not active in them, if that makes sense, just because I don't have time for that. So I do like some of the art and stuff I see in some of those groups, and I even message certain people when they post things to trade, but I'm not super active as far as posting my stuff so much. But in Emily's group, the I Heart ATCs group, I do post a lot of swaps. So if you want to get into ATCs, artist trading cards, it may be a good place to go, and you'll probably see my name in there. It'll say Krista Brindle, and it'll say the swaps and things that I'm running. I'm not admin in that group or anything. I just post swaps because with my ADHD, if you have it, you would understand. The mailing out individual envelopes is a lot, unless somebody messages me and I immediately fill out that envelope and put the finished card in it. It's really hard for me if I make the mistake, because sometimes I get really excited about what I'm doing, and maybe I say, oh, here's some cards, some backgrounds, that abstract backgrounds that I made the other day. Now, some people would just be happy with these being their card. Not me. So there's one in here that I had thought, oh, that one could be a finished card. This one I thought could be a finished card. These other ones, though, I know what I want to add to them for them to be finished, but these are like Halloween-y colors, right? So in my heart of hearts, I'm like, I've got to make them into Halloween cards. So I've got these cards are in a stage. Now, these cards came about. Okay, so now hang on. Are you guys buckled in? Buckle in, because you're about to go on the ADHD rabbit hole with me, okay? Because no medication today, and I'm going to show you the stages and things. Then I'm going to go, oh, wait, I remember now how these started. These started because of, and then that probably started because. So if you can't follow that, this might not be the video for you. But I'm also going to show you some great finds, products, and things that I've gotten really good deals on, and things that I love to use, things that I'm getting ready to use. So if you want to see all of that, and if you just want to thank goodness that you don't have ADHD, this might be something good for you. It might make you feel a lot better about your process. And don't judge me if you can see behind me, because I'm filming from a different angle because I'm on my iPad today. Oh my gosh, there's something else, you guys. I just realized I was trying to log in on my iPad to film this because my phone is dead. And hello, I started this channel with the wrong email address, like an email that I don't use anymore, like an old email address, and I can't change it now. So if you ever want to email me, sales, SALES, SMITH @gmail.com. That's how to get a hold of me and make the message the thing in the thing, like say like watched your YouTube or something like that, so that I'll know to pay attention to it, because email is something else that I'm not super good at. But okay, as far as like responding to it, like I read it, think I responded to it. So anyway, so these came about, where are they? You guys, I have this chair in the living room because my husband likes to watch TV on weekends, especially, or after work on weekdays, because he runs a business and he gets burned out so that during the week. So, you know, he just wants to chill. So I gotta find the cards that started that. Is it the one that I didn't bring in here, maybe? Maybe I didn't bring that one. I have to go get it, though. I have to show you because, see, this is what I knew was going to happen. Hold, please. No, it's not there. So it is back here somewhere. Well, it's back here somewhere. Okay. Great. That's scary that it's back here somewhere. But I have a bunch of them. Well, we'll find them. Hang on. Are they in here? I'll find it. We will come across it. And I'll get back to these. Okay. So the other day I decided my best friend is really good at Zentangles, and I love that she can do Zentangles. So I decided, and I kind of can do Zentangles because I kind of started doing them when I started took a class about mandalas. And then I realized, now learning about Zentangles, I realized that teacher totally is teaching different Zentangle techniques. So I got these off of Amazon. There's books as well. But and these are the cards, because I thought the cards, Yoga for Your Brain. This is called Totally Tangled. And this is Yoga for Your Brain Original Edition. And the cards inside look like this. So this is one of the swaps that I posted. So it shows you like what it looks like when it's finished, and then it breaks it down on the other side for you. So these are super cool. These are something that I recently got. I think it was $9.99 for each one. So, and I like that I can set it next to what I'm creating, whether it's a junk journal, whether it's an artist trading card, whether it's a greeting card, whatever. And I can add this. So I decided I'm going to do a swap, because if I host a swap, the crazy thing is I'm like all over the place when I'm being creative, but I'm super organized for organizing swaps and things. Like I have a system down between my notes in my phone and a highlighting system, and then I have different boxes with different envelopes in it. So I'm really good and organized as far as that goes. But when I get creative, it's like the wheels come off the bus. So this is one that I'm starting on. This is one that I started. So I need to work on the rest of these, because this is a swap that I've got going. So that's one that's in the works. So I need to make, for this swap, I'm making, I think 5 cards. It's a 5 card. So you make 6, you send them to me. I keep one as being the hostess, and then you get 5 different ones back from different artists. So that's one. If you want to participate in any of these, you can drop a message here if you didn't catch my email address, or email me and let me know. And then I will see what I can do about getting you in. Now here's a swap. So I love these little boxes. You can get them at the dollar store. You can get them at Michael's. Target, I think, sometimes has them, but I know Michael's and Dollar Tree carries them. So these are fussy cut cards. So these are cards. Ooh, so I usually have them stacked, and of course I just dumped off what I had stacked on there. So I make a bunch of backgrounds usually. I love to make backgrounds. That's my favorite. So these were backgrounds that I made from a class that I took. It was making full-size art in like an art journal or a junk journal, whatever you want to call it. I loved how they turned out. And I'm not a pastel girl. But so then I took these, I had these monster stickers like this, like these little guys. Some people love using stickers, some people don't. I do all of the things because some days my brain is not being creative enough to create from the ground up. So that's when I use stickers. However, I am a sticker fussy cutter. Fussy cutting is when you cut the white off of the sticker. So how adorable is this going to be? This little monster card. Now, I feel like I need to name them. I really feel like I wanted to give all of them names and little party hats. Yes, party hats, like birthday party hats. I don't know. It's what I wanted to do. So that's one. Here's another one in there. I gotta get it. They're not stuck down yet. If you guys didn't, and so these have the sticker backing on it. If you order anything off of Temu or Shein or any of those sites, or even locally, sometimes getting the backs off is really hard. Find my video before this one. It's very short. It's like 2 minutes or less. Shows you how to get the backs off, okay? Without ruining your stickers, without bending them all up and creasing them. So how fun is this? Now this is a tissue paper background card that I made. And look at the guy that's gonna go on here. He's gonna be so cute with a party hat and a name, right? Now this one, this is some painted backgrounds. So I always have in my drawer here at my little work table, I have some playing cards in here, like a whole little box of them like this. And then I have a whole stack of old credit cards, or those kind of cards that come in the middle that look like credit cards, but maybe it's for a wine club or a pizza card or something like that. And so then you can use these to paint onto things. So then I have cards in there. Playing cards have a shiny surface. So you either have to take like a nail sanding block and just sand it lightly to get the sheen off, or put a layer of gesso on. This is gesso. It's cheap. It's like this. And it's just a really thinned out paint. And so that gives you a base layer. So I usually have cards like that sitting around. So whenever I'm painting something, this is really cool. There you go. Can you see how chunky this paint is? See how chunky it is on there? It's really, really cool in person. I made some really cool cards, and it's so funny. It's when I traded them with people, they had butterflies on them and things. People all messaged me when they got their card and go, oh my gosh, this card is so much cooler than I thought it was. And I'm like, oh, nice. So you liked it enough to trade with me, but then when you got it, you were like, oh, this is super cool. So that's always fun. But so then, and normally I would never think to put stickers on these because the paint and everything, you know, but check this out. This monster and the fussy cutting makes all the difference with this girl. Kind of reminds me of Sigmund, you know? If you don't know who Sigmund is, you're not old enough. You're not as old as me then, let's put it that way. So that's what that's going to be when it's done. Oh no, you guys, I just dropped her. Oh goodness. Oh gracious. This is the story of my life. Where did she go? Okay, I won't waste your time, but I hopefully will remember later that I need to find out where she dropped. See, I have so many things in here. When I drop something, it's horrible because it takes forever to find if it drops into so I'm standing in front of my creation station, one of them. And so there's baskets and stuff of, I could show you, it might scare you. So I have baskets underneath here of collage materials and things like that. And I think she just fell into one of them. So I'm gonna have to find her later. Dang nabbit. I better leave this out. So I'll leave this card out so that I remember that I have to find her. So then I've got some in here. This one's got a background paper on it. This one's gonna say, always stay humble and kind. This one I thought was really cute. I'm making this one. It says your feelings are valid. And then I usually, so if you use stickers and you want to bump up your sticker game, your cards a little bit with your stickers, try cutting the white out. If you can't cut the white out, take an acrylic marker, like a Posca pen or just an acrylic marker, like if you buy like off of any of those sites or Michael's or anywhere like that, acrylic paint marker, and just paint over the white edging. Don't use watercolor. I've tried that and it does rub off. Okay. So yeah, so you can do that. And then that one, so what I would do if I was doing this one, I would probably do it in yellow because yellow would go with the background here. So you pick something that matches the background so it would kind of look like it was supposed to be like that. This one's going to be hard to show you because it's not stuck down yet. This is like a big monster party. There's all these monsters on this one. So you guys, the sticker cards can be really cool if you do it right. And then also what I will do is I will also be taking like a black fine liner and putting in little touches with that. Okay. So I have lots of boxes like this of little projects to go. Like I could take this, grab this and go out on my deck, or I could grab this and if I knew I was going somewhere where I had to sit for a while and I could mess with them. This box, you guys probably see these at Marshall's, TJ Maxx. They're meant for jewelry. I use them for projects in the works. So I can just sit there and I can open up a drawer. And this drawer has two different sets of projects in the works. So now these cards here I just cut down. So some people call it a master board, I guess. I've never really thought of it like that, but I wanted to try one. I've never made a master board. I have made background papers before because my background is stamping and scrapbooking. So I did make some things with, I thought I'd make master boards. So this one I stamped this little butterfly kind of guy all over the background, and then I cut this collage paper up into strips, and I'm going to glue those all over this. Probably add some fine liner. I don't know, haven't quite decided where this one's going yet, but that's another one that's in the works. Then these cards here. Oh, I know, I was going to show you. So then when I made that one, I also made this background paper. I was playing with my jelly plate, if you know what that is. And then I was taking and putting the extra paint on here. And then I stamped on it as well, or with a stencil. Then I used a stencil. And then I've got lots of different paints in there. I don't know if you can see. I've got all different types of this kind of green in here, but different. I've got spray splatter paint in here. I've got a glitter in here. I've got all sorts of things. And then, so for working on things when I don't have time to create all the elements, there you can buy books that have these different collage papers in them. So that's how I created these backgrounds. These backgrounds have, let's see, how can I get it? Let's see if this is, I hate this light because it's kind of yellowy, but can you see? No, that light's worse. I think that light's worse. So there. Oh, you can kind of see now. So there's all sorts of different paint textures here. So if you were to get one of these cards, you can actually feel all the textures. And then the collage papers are on top. And then I'm going to put other things on top of that. So I really like a really textured card. So I just went through my collage books and picked out some papers that might go with this one. But see, I have to let things marinate a lot. So I've been kind of letting these sit there. I just let them sit there and look at them for days before I will finally decide to do something with it. I know that would drive some people nuts, but that's what works for me. So these cards here, I stamped a bunch of leaves and things. I have this set that's like this. And yes, it's still sitting here. Because I stamped a bunch of these. Now I'm going to watercolor these in. I showed some of you this card that I made the other day, a couple weeks ago, I think. I made a set of these cards because I was sending out artist trading cards, and so I wanted to put them inside of these cards. And these are watercolored, and they are dry. So, but I love those leafy stems, and so I made a bunch of them, but I made them in different colors because the papers here are different colors. So you can kind of see that they're all gonna go, like this one's probably gonna go like on top of one of these. But when I watercolor in the leaves, it will pull it all together. Like here's one that I had finished, and then imagine it cut out, fussy cut around it, and then it will go onto one of these cards. And then I'll decide if I want to add words or anything like that. I think when you add words, it's very important that the words make sense with what you're doing. For me to put one on here and, let's see, put like the word, what would be a dumb word in my opinion? I guess it would be like hustle would be a weird word to put with these tones and then the mother nature on there, right? So maybe words like peaceful, inner peace, joy, find your joy, but things like push yourself, that would not be something that I would associate with pastel colors and leaves. That's just not, yeah, anyway. So I have these separated because these I just have in a pile for when I feel like getting out my watercolors. Then I will pull something like this out because I'll have that ready. So I've always got things ready to go. Now this is a background card, a background ATC that I made with extra watercolor paint on my brush. I was watercoloring something else, and before I would wash off my brush, I would just take and wipe off the extra, and look at how pretty that is. Really cool. You can get some really cool backgrounds like this, just not wasting your paint. That's how these cards turned out too. These were all paint that was being used on other projects that I then wiped onto here. Okay, this here, if you watched another one of my videos the other day, I talked to you about stickers and how to kind of zhuzh them up. And so these are those dragon stickers. Now here's all the pieces to make the dragon cards. They're all in here. Not all of them, but like my sample cards that I found, these, that's how I'm going to put it together, are here, so then I can cut up more of those when I feel like assembling something. That's in this drawer. So that's that drawer. Next drawer, this is a card that I'm going to attempt making with alcohol markers that I saw on Instagram somebody do in a bigger format. So I'm going to mess, because alcohol pens are new to me. So I'm going to mess with that here. This is just a reminder that I wanted to try that. However, side tip, I did just hear, I was chatting with my friend online, Brenda, and she told me alcohol markers are not, they're not light fast. So all those money, and she has spent a lot of money on them herself, but she said they're not light fast. They actually fade over time. And she likes to put things in frames or, you know, things like that. And so she was really frustrated to find that out. And I was like, oh, well, I guess before I get it too into them, if I ever make any big art, it's good for me to know that. Because I was making, so I made, like, I'm trading her this one, and this one I colored with Posca pens. So I've got a whole series of giraffes done, not done, in the works. Let me see if I can grab them really quick for you to show you. Oh, here they are. So a bunch of giraffes. So this one I did this one in pinks. I don't know where are my other finished giraffes? I have other finished ones. Again, they're missing. They're MIA. They gotta be somewhere. Who knows? I don't know right now. These here, you guys, one day I decided to play with dropping ink droplets. So I got a card from somebody which inspired me to do something with, how did I do this? It was watercolor in like droppers, watercolors and droppers. And so I just made these cards, right? I did make a sun with one of them. I haven't decided if it's done or if I'm going to do more on it. So a bunch of different kinds of things, right? This is my favorite one though. I love this kind of sepia color. I had no idea that. And so, oh, I know what I was doing. I was swatching new watercolors. And so then you have so much paint in the brush when you're done swatching that I was like, this is such a waste. So then I would just dip more water on it, and then I made all of these backgrounds. And this one kind of looks like a lizard, how that turned out. That was just a happy accident. I will show you. My husband's on this kick where he's been going and getting me coffee at the coffee stand, which we haven't done in years, but they stick straws in there, and I hate straws. So, I mean, as far as like wasting them. So I dropped the colors here and then blew them. And so that's how I got some of these effects. I was going to show you the ones like with the really cool water, where you can tell it's really cool. Like these, you can kind of see like these little things that's from the straw. It's really cool. So let me show you what I'm doing with these though. So these cards, those cards are, where's one of my finished ones? I have a little binder I keep my finished trading cards in. And then I have, so like these are some cards that I'm trading. So, and then I just added, oh, there's my finished drafts, you guys, because somebody told me, see, it's a good thing we are doing this video. I would have forgotten where I put them, would have freaked out when it was time to mail them. And I'm deciding how I'm drawing them. Some are in alcohol ink, some aren't. Anyway, she had said she takes, whenever she's doing a swap, she takes a page protector and puts a Post-it note on it with what the swap is and when it's due and how many she's making. And then as she finishes them, she sticks them in the page. I'm like, that's brilliant. So I stuck them in here. So here, anyway, here's 2 cards that I finished that were like that other one. Now this one happened to be in fall colors. And so I just added fine liner pen. And now this one, I started and then I got into the Zentangle thing. So this has got a little bit of a Zentangle feel to it. So yeah, so I'm kind of having fun. So I have to have different types of things to do to stimulate my brain. I could, people always go, oh, what kind of art do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm not that kind of an artist. I have to do a little bit of everything or my brain would be so bored. I'd be like, boring. Anybody else like that? Now these I started a long time ago. I caught the backs cut. This paper is gorgeous. It's got this great sheen to it, and I love the green. And then at the dollar store, you guys, I found these wallpaper pieces so that you can like tile your bathroom or whatever. They're big rectangles and they're stickers and they're made to peel and peel off. But I thought these would be great for ATCs to put on top of this. And then I'm going to use some of my fairies that I have and work. These are all going to be fairy cards. These are all going to be, because the leaves will look so big compared to the fairies, so it'll be perfect. So that these are all cut and ready to have fairies added to them. Then, is anybody just like going, wow? So these here, this is, you guys, this is, I showed you in previous videos. If you've watched them, if you haven't watched them, maybe go watch. I save all my papers like this that I have underneath when I'm doing art, right? I cut these up and I use them for collage material at some point. So these are going to be, have you guys ever seen like little houses? What do they call them? There's like a name for it. And then I thought I would. And then I have a little door. But I'll use the fine liner pen, will bring all of this out. And then like there's the little window. And then I got another, I don't know if this goes with that. But anyway, so these are all pieces to be those little houses. Then, so I just have to assemble those when I'm in the mood to do that one day. These are stamps that I have gotten off of things people have sent me that I'm also going to make little houses out of. They're so cute. You could probably Google it, or I got the idea from somebody in the artist trading group. And then in the bottom here, this probably shouldn't be in here because these are not even close to being a finished card. But I started gathering things. I was like, oh, wait a minute, this. Totally with this would make a great ATC. We'll probably make 2 ATCs with those two together somehow. Then I found this paper. I think somebody sent this to me with an artist trading card. And I was like, oh my gosh, that would look so good with this paper that I had painted. Yes, this is the painted one. And then with maybe a little book page in there somehow. And then I have this. This is an entire bag that somebody put something in for me with, like when I bought bath bombs at a street fair. So this will all be elements of a trading card or two. So I just kind of stuck those in this bottom drawer to remind myself to do something with those. They're all if I don't capture the idea, I will lose it. This here, these were a sheet that I was dropping black ink on, like India ink, on top of acrylic, and then I cut them up into backgrounds because I was doing, I was doing the color cube swap, and so I was making background cards, and so then their silver would still need to go on here, and they have the gray, they have the black, they have the green. What they don't have is the brown and the silver. And so I would just add elements on top to make those complete. I'm just wanting to know how many of you have a headache already. Like, what in the world, lady? You are crazy. Let me get these things out of here because these are just elements that shouldn't be in here because they are not partial card. Okay. And then these were other cards from the color cube swap with a different card that I had gotten ready. So just turned out that in the color cube swap that I started, so much interest. I had 36 people who wanted to participate. And I thought for sure somebody would flake out and not send their stuff. Everybody sent their stuff. So when people flake out and don't send their stuff, I'm always like, no worries if there's no spot for me, because inevitably 1 or 2 people are going to end up flaking on me, and then I will just fill in. Nobody did. That's okay. I'll still make the cards and then I'll trade them with people. Remember the giraffe cards I showed you? So I made one of the giraffes. When I made her, she didn't really look like a giraffe, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I'm like, she doesn't look like a giraffe. Her face is off. What is the heck? So I did a Google search on giraffe faces, and somehow a goat showed up in there. You guys, look at this. So she started out as a giraffe, but because her face was fatter, so then I just shortened the top, added the little, isn't she cute? And I'm excited to make some goats. And I made the mistake of showing this to my friend Brenda, and we're trading for a card that she made that's amazing. So I'm fine making it for her because because I really want this card that she's sending me. And she wants her. So I got to finish her. I don't do real well with like, you have to do this because you promised somebody. I've learned not to do that because I'm the worst. It's almost like the 3-year-old toddler in me kicks her heels down and goes, no, I'm not gonna. So these ones, you guys, I didn't find the cat yet. Hang on. We'll keep, oh, here they are. Yeah. Phew. I started to show. Okay, these cards started because have you guys ever seen the cat cards that people make where they pull, they do the paint and they pull it down and then it makes kitty cats? Kitty cats. So I've always seen them like this, or they just draw them. I have one in my sketchbook too, which this here. So I try to draw a little bit. I was doing it every day, but I don't always have time every day, or sometimes I don't get to the drawing part. But I try, if you just draw just a little bit each day, and you can decide if you want to be a realistic drawer or a cartoonish drawer or whatever you want. I'm more of a cutesy. So these were the cats when I drew them. And then I painted them. But I hadn't ever seen, and I'm sure somebody out there has done it. I hadn't seen it yet. So I added a little rascal peeking down from the top on all of mine. These are for a swap. I'm doing a hand-drawn, hand-painted swap. So, and can I show you a super cool happy accident? You guys, where is it? This one is a happy accident. Because how cool is the little kitty that from the top? He's got a little bandit face. Because it didn't turn out right. Instead of freaking out, like in this one, looks kind of funny too. But see, I still have to put their clothes on them. They don't have clothes on yet because I'm going to make it look like they're wearing little sweaters and stuff. It's so cute. So the extra paint from this, you guys, because I just hate wasting paint, was what went on these. I just started wiping it onto these cards with, I like to use, like I said, credit cards or whatever, right? These are like cut in half. And so you just take that extra paint and just swipe it on there. And you're just like, this is a big mess. But when it's all dry, I love to swipe it on thick too. So you can kind of see. You can kind of see that now, huh? I love it when there's texture in certain spots on the cards because I put the paint on real thick or something. So that's how I ended up with these 5. So that's kind of fun. And what I think I'm planning on doing is I have these really cute stamps. There's little witches, little mummies, and the little house, the little haunted house. I might put a little haunted house in the back and then the little mummy. There is a little Dracula, and then the little mad scientist. Then you got the little ghosties. So I could end up stamping, cutting out, and using any of those. Or like I said, I might just finish these all as abstracts and just do it that way. If I do it that way, I liked this one the best because I had added the roundness, the round piece there. I feel like that finished it as an abstract, whereas the other ones, they needed something. So they need a little roundness in there somewhere. So that's some of the projects I have going. I'm not done. Are you bored yet? Okay, so then I have an Alice in Wonderland swap going. So I made a bunch of Alice in Wonderland backgrounds. I made a bunch of Alice in Wonderland backgrounds like this. Some turned out like super awesome. Other ones I wanted more grungy looking. Some I thought, let's see what happens when I do this. And so they look more like Alice drank a little too much of that drink. And then I bought, for these I wanted to try collage. So, because I had, you guys, the horrible thing about having ADHD is when you're doing something you can't make up your mind. So I've got stickers and stamps and background papers and all of the things so that I could decide what I wanted to do. And what did I decide to use? Playing cards that I had, gesso that I had, acrylic paint that I had, a stencil that I had, and then I bought these off of Etsy for a couple of bucks. And then I have some Alice in Wonderland quotes that I also bought that I'm going to cut up into, but so there'll be something. So this is kind of one, this is not all of it. I've got more that's going on in these cards, but to give you an idea. This one, the little Cheshire Cat's going to be up in the corner, and she's going to be like, whoa, dude, back up, personal space. So that's a swap that I'm working on. It was crazy to bring all this in here because I had piles around my chair. It's just piles, piles, and piles. Then I have this going. I decided, a few people sent me cards that had sewing on them. So I wanted to try it. So I bought myself for my birthday in August, I bought myself a little mini sewing machine. I have a big sewing machine at our house, but it's so big and takes up room, and I just wanted a little one right here because the cabin, we don't have a ton of space. So I started sewing this. So this is again in one of those pieces from the Dollar Tree. And these are really cool tile stickers from the Dollar Tree. They're in the craft section in with the stickers. And you're not going to be able to get a good visual of them, but they're amazing. And they still are relatively flat for mailing. I mean, they're kind of bumpy, but you can you can wrap it a couple times in something and then it'll feel like it's flat. So, but look, my needle broke, you guys. My needle broke. I was like, oh, so now I have to like rethread it, and that's like a whole thing for me. So haven't gotten back to it. I think it's because this is sticker, and then this glittery stuff is also from the Dollar Tree and it's sticker. I think the glue probably made my needle break. So I don't know. So I haven't decided if the sewing is the best idea, but it needed something. And so I started sewing around the edge, and then I thought, you know what? It needs me to sew all in here, I think, to give it some oomph. So it's like this one I did, this one can probably be done like that, just because I did it differently. But this one I did on the white side of the card. So I feel like it needed that third layer. And also just how some pieces cut different than others. Like this one's probably okay like that too. I don't know. I'll post them and I'll see if I get any interest or not. Some of them turned out like these aren't done yet. But because of where the bird is. And then I took these squares and I didn't just stick them on willy-nilly. I literally said, how does this fit in with that design? And so look at that, you guys. It looks like it's part of the bird's feathers. It's so cool if I stick it on there so that it lines up like that. So I was able to do that with almost all of them with some way in the design. So that made me excited. So whether I end up sewing those or not is to be determined still. Then, yes, there's more. Then I got really excited about stencils that I have. Paper doll type stencils. Watching KP and Megan Quinlan from Art Foamies. They make the stamps too, but I have the stencils, and so I hadn't done anything with them. So I finally drew them all on the backs of food things and stuff because they're quite large. And I'll use these in my art journal. I got to draw faces in and stuff for them. And they're cool because on their bodies you can put words, you can journal in here, things like that. So that's a project that I started. Then I got a couple, 3 more to show you, I think. 4, 5 more. I lied. You guys, like, seriously, this is a whole lot. And this is all just stuff since August, I think. These were these were supposed to be my original hand-drawn cards. So I have plants and stuff in the cabin here, and so I just sat one day and looked at them and drew. And so I put that on a back of a book page that needs to be painted. It was just supposed to be super easy, the hand-drawn thing, right? It was gonna be super easy. This one, I probably need to paint a background color in there. This one doesn't have paint yet. This one I was just kind of messing around. I haven't decided if it's gonna be a card or not. This one, again, messing around, haven't decided if it's gonna be a trading card or not. This one can be a trading card, but it needs some oomph to it. I need to add some oomph. This one, I already finished one like it. I turned it into ladybugs. This one, again, was one that started out with me just wiping extra paint on things. And look at how cool it is. So cool. Then I've got this. This is my version of the Very Hungry Caterpillar. This is, I painted on a book page. And I'm going to attach it here. And then something's going to go down here. Then I painted a vase of tulips, or not painted, drew. And then I drew one of my orchids. This one is a butterfly on a dictionary page. My butterfly, she's a little weird over here, but you know, hey, that's hand drawing for you, right? This one's a little toucan because the toucan came because I made this paper. You guys, the ADHD bunny trail is real. And I don't know why she's in here. A little queen that I made. Oh, I should have made her the Queen of Hearts for the Alice in Wonderland. That would have been cool. I made this paper here and decided I needed more jungly kind of drawings. I was gonna draw them and then cut them out and put them on here, but because this is the background paper that I made. But then I found these stamps that I have, and I think these are going to be perfect on top of it. So I've got these sitting here for me to stamp these, cut these out. I probably want to emboss them, I think, which leads me to this. If Ranger ink, they take forever to ship. I mean, it'll take a couple weeks to get your stuff. But they had some mixed media powder for $1. I think it was $1. And this has got like a green and a black in it. So I need to mess with this and see what color it actually turns out once I get it melted. If you don't know how to use those, just look up, well, you can go to Ranger Ink and see. And then they had this brown too. And then I got a pink one. It looks like pink and brown or pink and black. And it's got micas in it as well. It's like I think it's a Tim Holtz kind of product. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. But it's Ranger Ink. It's on there with all of his. And then the purple. Then these, you guys, these are the tissue paper background cards that I've told you that I make. They're playing cards with the tissue paper squares, the bleeding tissue on there. And then these are definitely going to be more to mail. These are the butterfly stickers I get at the dollar store. I like to add things like pretty washi tape and things like that on here. You guys, somebody told me one time that they didn't like words on cards. They wanted the cards to speak for themselves. I get that, because something a friend's mom said one time to her as an adult, your house walls should not speak to you. The memory should speak, or whatever, or the memory of where you bought it, or why you bought it, whatever, or the picture, or whatever it is. And I get that. I love words, being an English writing major. So sometimes I like to put words on there, but other times I think the words would ruin it. So again, be really thoughtful when you use words, because it can just ruin a card for somebody, especially when you have cemented that down with gesso and then gel medium and everything over the top. It's one thing if it's a little thing and they can just pick it off if they don't like it. And I get it, it's your art, you can do what you want. But I mean, I know a lot of people are arbitrarily just slapping word stickers on there to finish them, and you're not even reading it. You're not even paying attention to what it says and if it flows. The funny thing is I usually cut my word stickers out and lay it on the project and let them simmer on a table or something while I think if that's the right word for it. That's how anal I am about it. This one is for my Rolodex, and I will probably put a whole quote here. So these were just kind of fun to, oh, she needs to be, oh, I know, she goes this way, that's why. I'm like, she's twisted. This one is a painted background that I did on cardboard that I cut out of a box or something. This is probably one of my favorite tissue paper ones. Now that round thing is a hole in the back because these cards came from a casino, so they're punched. So I will put a sticker over the back to make it look solid. So those are in progress. These cards had been sitting here forever, you guys, like at least a month before I finally just stuck the stickers down just the other night. Finally decided that's what I was doing with those. And then I'll show you my painted dogs in a minute. These are more with the colored inks. So these are Liquitex acrylic ink or Artist Loft acrylic ink. The Artist Lofts, here's the difference in the jar sizes, you guys. I mean, but these are more matte, and whereas the Liquitex is more vibrant colors. So, but these ones I used the straw. You can see how I used the straw on these. And I don't know what I'm putting on these yet, but I just made a bunch of backgrounds one day because I wanted to play with my acrylic inks that I had gotten. So I just made a bunch of abstract backgrounds. I love gold, the color gold. Some people love silver. I love gold. So I use what I like. Then, and I think I have some images of women that are going to go on top of these, but have a clear background on them. I think that's what I'm putting on here, but I'm not sure. I have to make sure it's not too busy looking. This is a painted background. This is a random painted background. These are more tissued backgrounds. They shouldn't be in here. So anyway, so this is just those backgrounds. Then here's my dogs. Okay, so these, I'm getting to the end of it, I promise. And then I'm going to show you my swatch book, and I'm going to show you what I do with it. It's a little different than what a lot of people do. So these are my painted, my watercolored dogs. I stamped them, and then I watercolored them, and then oh, he has a little buddy. The dogs were going to have party hats, but I haven't decided if the dogs are going to have party hats. Now, my biggest problem with the dogs is I haven't found a background yet that screams, this is for these dogs. So, and if you can't see, so if you can see, there's a metallic paint on all of them. There you go. And it looks so cool in person. Now the tail, because it doesn't quite fit on there, I would cut it off and I would bring it around the back of the card. So it goes like that, so that he still has a tail. Or I can cut it off and I can have it sticking out from behind his body. So I haven't decided. This one here is pretty much perfect for this though. So this guy has his little party hat sitting here. This painted background that I did, and then this dog just, you guys, done totally separately. Was not thinking they'd go together. Hadn't even made these yet when I made these. So I love it when things come together. And then his little party hat. I felt like the dogs all needed names too. I don't know. Because that's kind of the fun part about being the artist is you get to name them. You get to do whatever you want, right? This one is really cool because she's got a lot of metallic on her. You can kind of see it there. And then some of them, the stamp had a big dog and a little dog, and I cut them apart. But so I could use them together or apart. But like this one here looks so good with this background. This one here, took me a long time to find one for this one. But this one, he was kind of a gray dog. He looks really cool with the silver paint in there. Again, the dogs were not even made when I made these backgrounds. So kind of fun. So I love the dogs, super excited to finish them. But I don't want to rush it because I love them. So I've been working on them for months. So then I got this during the back to school time at Dollar Tree. It is made for, it's a painting thing for kids. So you can put their paints in here. You can put their paints in here, squeeze them out of the big bottles, and put their project here, and then close it when they're not working on it, which will keep the paints wet for a while. And there's a spot for a brush. But I got it for the things that I am working on. So I've got a scrap piece in here for painting off or testing colors. A little piece of paper towel in here. So here's a bunch of Alice's for my Alice in Wonderland, because I thought I was using these, and I may still, because I have a whole bunch of ideas on what to do with these. I just haven't painted them yet. So the collage pieces were in case I didn't get my act together by then. So here's the Queen. This is, I was testing her to see. Then here's some birds to go on to some fall tags that I've got to do. Here's some hummingbirds so I just like to make, when I just feel like playing with my watercolors or my acrylics, I will get this out. And I already have stamped images ready to go. So I don't have to do that too, because when I'm in the mood to paint, I'm not in the mood to stamp. If that makes sense. So I love having all these little to-go boxes, I guess you call them, ready, project boxes, ready to go. So if you have questions about anything I'm just saying here, just comment below. I probably should have said this a long time ago. Please like and subscribe as well, because I would love to get my subscribers up so that I can go live. These are other backgrounds that I made with the jelly plate, and then the other day it was a big piece of paper, and then I just cut them up because I was like, I wonder what those would look like as artist trading cards. And I think they're going to be great backgrounds again. So like what I did was I also had taken these. So I know you can buy clear acetate, but why would I want to buy it when everything comes in plastic packaging nowadays, especially like flat art supplies like stickers or papers? Take them out carefully when you first buy them before they get all scunged up from being in your drawers and stuff. And you can stamp on them as long as you use the right type of stamp pad, a dye ink stamp pad, not water-based. Versamark is what I use. So I had stamped on these, so I had these just randomly like in one of my project boxes. And then when I made these, I thought, ooh, the solid color on there would be great for putting this on top. So that's what's going to go on these cards. Now, how do I get this on here? So this will be trimmed off. I use gel medium. On the back side here, you can't put it on the ink because it will wipe the ink off. Gel medium will erase it. So you put it on the edges. I gel ink around the edges and then just stick it on there and put it inside of like a dictionary or something while it's drying. So that's how I do that. Okay, so my swatch book, you guys, this is my swatch book. Oh, you know what? I'll do a different video. Do a different video for my swatch book because it deserves its own video because it's so cool. And when I made it, I thought this is so stupid that you're taking the time to do this. Oh my gosh, I use it for every project. I never thought I would. Never thought it, but I do. And I will also show you in a different video. I'll make a really quick short video, not tonight, but probably tomorrow, about my favorite white pens. We're going to do a little white pen test. I have several different brands, different types of white pens. I'll test them out for you because I keep hearing people have a hard time with white pens. I love white pens and I don't remember cursing at any of them. So anyway, okay, like and subscribe, comment. YouTube loves it when you comment. I love it when you comment. It makes me feel loved. It makes me feel like you care. It makes me feel like you want me to make more videos. Don't you love me and my crazy ponytail and my scrubs today? They're not scrubs. This is my version of scrubs. Like no one's gonna see me. And then I go live. Not live, but made a video. Anyway, you guys have a great evening. Comment below. Let me know what your thoughts on this video.